Hello and welcome. Today I'm back in my 2018 Antique Ledger because I still have peonies on the brain. And I also found one of the little girls that I sketched in my car tablet, something I just keep handy to while away the time that my husband might be in Home Depot or one of those happy places. And, well, it just all came together after much mind changing on my part. So, this was my first little girl. This was a piece I did because I was feeling yellowish that day. And today, this girl, as you can see, is surrounded by my very favorite peonies. I just fussy cut these, and I took a picture so that I would be sure that I had a reminder. But before I put her down, I've decided that I want to remove the hair piece and take out the suggestion of hair, because I will be able to add that in as I'm working on her. As you can see, this is just lined notebook paper. And a face that I was quite tickled with, so I made a copy, or two or three, and yes, better, because I can do hair as the spirit moves me now. I do want that whitish peony with the bud. I do, so she's going to have to come down a bit. Better. Okay, now I'm going to take a few moments to put her down with my Yoo-Hoo glue stick, and I'm going to put this bit down on top of her, or maybe not. I think I'm just going to put her down. And now some cheek marks. As you can see, this is March 09, and some notation in red, and actually some green ink notation. Just lovely. Okay. Since using this sort of lightweight notebook paper worked so well on my first page, I'm not at all afraid to attack this with my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. I'm going to make sure that I get plenty on the edges and in the center part, because I don't want this to be too affected by the media I use. Okay, whoops, she's got some glue on her. Not a problem. I'm rather happy with her. She makes me happy the same way this girl did. So I'm going to remove this page now that I've made my major decisions and get to work. I have still one or two of those ledgers left, and I must remember to take pictures of them and put them in my Etsy shop as soon as possible, because they are delicious to work on. Alrighty, now the peonies can rest over here, and I'm going to use some of my Oyster White Ceramcoat to put a base coat of acrylic on her. I'm not going to be adding any water to it because I don't want to cause any problems with this paper. This is not quite a dead white, which is just fine. And I want to put it on thinly enough that I can see my girl underneath. Being just a little bit off white also makes this rather easy to see where I'm putting it. And I do love the Ceramcoat paints because they are nice and opaque. I've been using them for a few years, and I haven't found anything that tickles me more. Although I've been noticing that their color selection is diminishing, so I'm probably going to have to change brands. I'm thinking of DecoArt. I'll get a little bit of neck under here. I always do. I'm drawn to an oblong face shape, which I probably am drawn to because it would be similar to my own. But I've been working hard at this lovely shape and loving it to death. Alrighty. Now I'm going to use some Neocolor 2s to continue giving her a little bit of color. I'm going to, however, let this air dry because I don't want to apply heat. I want the Yoo-Hoo glue stick to work underneath, and I want the paper on top of it to have an opportunity to dry. So this, I think, is going to be like an ounce of prevention to make sure that nothing strange happens. And I need to have another look-see at these. Yes, there she is. Okay. I have a nice large monitor up in front of me so that I can see what I'm doing and see what you will be seeing at the same time. And I'm noticing that her eyes aren't quite as bad as the first one. Not that that makes any difference to my girls, but this one could be just a drop lower. But perfection is not mine. All right, let me get some my, not quite yet, first layer of colors. I think I'll use some flesh tone. And maybe just a bit of salmon to get some colors on her. Now here again, I do need some water to activate these crayons. Yes. Alrighty. Her neck. I'm trying to work on remembering not to give all of my girls quite chicken necks. Something about that puts me off, but I was doing it. And her neck is just a bit wider. Let's see if we can add any color here and there. That's better. I can hear you saying, well, I'm glad you thought of it today and not tomorrow, Carol. Sorry about that. I do get engrossed when I'm coloring a face. And I forget that you're there, which is crazy because of the whole purpose of me doing this is for you to enjoy, hopefully. Well, she's not without color. Well, I must. This time I'm absolutely going to be patient. In fact, I'm going to stop because I know that I'll get right back at it, and I don't want to. I will return when this is as dry as it can possibly be, because I'm seeing some where that water is affecting. Okay, the glue. I'll be back. As you can see, this has had an ample opportunity to dry, and it's nice and flat. And I took some time to use some of the Ceramcoat Santa's Flesh to just give it a cohesive flatness in color. Then I used just the tiniest little bit of pure white to take care of the whites of the eyes. And now I'm thinking that it's time to work on the eye coloring, and I'm using a Flair pen to add a little bit of green to these eyes. Alrighty, and since I'm putting a little bit of green there, I'm thinking I'll just put a little bit here on the eyelids. I can spread that out a little bit. Yes, there it goes. It's moving a little bit. And now I'm going to use another Flair for these lips. And let's see, about a little bit of water that should spread this color a little bit. And I'll put a little bit of that Flair color here under her nose. And on that under that nostril. And a little bit of that also in the eyelid area. And a little over here. As you can see, the flare does move if you get it quite quickly. And a little bit more down there. And now I'm going to add, oops, I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this eye area. And just a tiny bit of darker yellow in there, just a little bit. A little bit more of my green. And now I'm thinking I'm going to want to shade with a little bit of this flare with lilac. If we can spread it out a little bit. A little bit over on this side. And a little bit more here. This is willing to move because it's on acrylic. Just have a little bit more of this color down the side of her nose and under the eye a little bit. Not too terribly much. And some over here. And under the lip here. And I want to put a little bit of pen work on there. I'll start with this nice extra XS Faber-Castell Pitt pen over here on the side. here. And in the lid. Well, now we're starting to have a girl here, aren't we? Let's work on that lip line. And I think a little bit more of this pink for shading on the side. And a little bit here. Darkening over in the corners of the lip. And now some Prismacolor is going to do the trick. This is Parma Violet, very lightly. Very lightly. And now, under her chin, up here. Let's have some white highlight up here. nice bit of gray. Grayish silver too. The shadow of the upper eyelid is very important. And now I'm thinking that we need some white. See if it's going to cooperate. Ah, yes. And down here. Some white on her chin. And along her upper lip. And her upper brow. Bit on this lower lip. Now I'm thinking it's time for this girl to have some hair. So, Derwent Inktense to the rescue. Thinking some blondish hair. No, pale, not orange hair. Alrighty, now let's see what kind of hair she had before. And this Derwent Inktense, when it is set alight with water, will make a lovely hair miracle over here. And some see what we have thus far. Now that's going to dry. While I add a little bit more shadow under here. I can see that light in her eye is going to need a little more of a statement there. Okay, where's the magic light in the eye brush? Nope. I'll try this one. What that needs is some more dark. Yes, it does. There. Now a big test. Let's see where we are. And these. Isn't she starting to look like quite the girl? But we need a little bit more oomph in that hair. Maybe this. this will do it. See if this is dark enough. Better, but not quite there yet. I'd rather creep up on this than put too much color in it. I'm thinking well, that was a good idea while it lasted. But I want us to see her face and not spend that much time studying the peonies on her hair. Okay. Well, I think she's about to get a chance to dry well. Make sure that those highlights in her eyes are completely dry. And I'm going to lay down the bits of collage. I'll be back when she is really, particularly that hair area, is completely dry. Since I have discovered the value of the Aquarelle by Stabilo All, number 8008, as a shading pencil, I have been quite pleased with the ability of this pencil to push things back or bring certain things forward. And in this case, as you can see, it is working a treat with her flower crown. Just a little bit to push the flowers bring them forward a little bit and push the background into the background. Especially in this, with this white peony. As I say, it makes itself known. One wonders what these meant when they were originally put on. This green ink tickles me. Okay, let's see. How are we doing here? Do we need a little bit more shading here? Where her hair is over her face. A bit next to the philtrum, around this nostril. This is the time when I can spend endless amounts of time just embellishing, tidying up, playing, giving some TLC. But I think this girl is quite ready for her debut. Let's see, do we need a little bit here? Alrighty. I do hope that you have enjoyed my second girl and my much loved peonies. And if you have, I would appreciate your giving me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I do try to answer them, share with a friend, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Well, where am I going to with all these good things down here? Where will I go? Maybe right up here. Let's have a good close look at her. Her peony crown turned out to be quite a peony statement. Bye now.